Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is one of the videos that I've been procrastinating on because I've not had the time and energy to do this video yet. So, I'm only 13 years old, and I don't have a driver's license. And ever since I was 11, I've always wanted to drive. So, an alternative to that was video games. And one time I stumbled across this one channel called Randy Gaming. Shout out to him. And I saw a video with the Tesla. So then I started playing the game, and I actually liked the game. And then for a while, I was always into cardboard technology and cardboard phones and cardboard iPads and just things made out of cardboard. So I thought, why don't I make a cardboard steering wheel? So I had this Mario Kart steering wheel thing that you put the Joy-Cons in and you're supposed to use it to drive, but I never used it, so I turned it into a steering wheel and I would drive with it. And then I made a little mechanism that had an actual steering wheel on it, and I could put it behind the headrest of my seat. Ever since then, I was driving. Not technically not foot to the pedal type driving, just imagination. In this video, I'm going to show you how creativity could drive you forward in life. And I mean literally. No more Mercedes! So yeah, this is my daily driver car. It's a gray Toyota 4Runner. So you might be wondering, that's not a Tesla. Well, it's not what's on the outside. It's what's on the inside that matters. Alright, I'm in the car and I had to put my phone up there for a flashlight because the light on my car is not bright enough. And for some reason my camera has a built-in flashlight, but for some reason it doesn't flash when it's on video mode for some reason. But anyway, this is my setup in the back. This is the front, a natural car because someone actually has to drive the car. I just mimic the movement on here. And by the way, this fully works, this fully turns, so I can turn it however I want to. I just mimic, so how that's turned right there, the wheels turn like that. I just have it turned like this right here, and then just turn like that. It's like how in my car it also has a screen up there. I have a screen back here, but it's made out of cardboard. It's supposed to mimic a Tesla. Teslas basically have right here. You switch gears, open the front and trunk, the charge port, and unlock the car. All right here, and then when you put it into drive, which it is right now for some reason, the little car will change and it'll go right here, and then when you start driving, it'll pretend like it's moving, and then while you're driving, and you see little cars nearby, little cars will pop up on the screen. This will show you what's in your blind spot. And on this side is your maps, or you can also change it to your camera, or whatever you want. You can watch YouTube videos on a Tesla. You can also watch my videos on a Tesla, so subscribe on your Tesla if you have one. But obviously mine doesn't do that, because, look. You see, obviously, if I try to unlock, you just gotta use your imagination and pretend like this is moving, swift up, shift down, and then park. So you guys are probably wondering, how is it staying up? So, for this back here, this holds the steering wheel in place. I have a colored pencil, and there's a chip clip back there that's glued onto it. And then I put a bunch of hot glue on the end of the colored pencil. And then, so that way it can't come out of the paper clip right there. Or the alligator clip, that's what it's called. And then inside the steering wheel is like a little hole, and I have a alligator clip in here too. And then to hold the touchscreen up, I have a bunch of zip ties attached to this, and attached right there so it can stay up. But since my mom wants this to come out, I just have to just move this down, and it comes out, and then that part just goes into the cardboard. You guys probably see this, and you guys are probably wondering, wow, this thing's so cool. There obviously can't be any problems with this. Well, actually there is. Main issues really are the steering wheel itself. So sometimes when you're driving and when I turn the wheel kind of hard for a sharp turn or a quick turn, sometimes the clip that's inside of here, I don't know if you can see it, it's right there, I don't know if you can really see it better, but kind of like where the white dots are, that's the clip. Sometimes the clip will either come off, or I had problems with smaller clips where the steering would just come off, and the color pencil would just stay in the little mechanism up here. But yeah, that's really the only problem. I haven't really had a lot of problems else besides it, like it falling, like the steering wheel itself coming apart or falling off. The steering wheel that was kind of made out of paper. It was like a cardboard, kind of like this cardboard, but more like thinner and like paper-like. And it would slope down. It would come slope down, so it would hang down. Not as bad as this, but still. And then I have this. Sorry for the mess, but yeah, I need to clean out these cup holders too. I don't know how these get so dirty. But this I put my water in, so it's kind of like a dashboard for a Tesla, or kind of like where the water would be, the cup holders would be in a Tesla. The only thing I don't have that's like a Tesla in here is the wireless charging mount which would be right here, and one of the main things is cameras. However, I do have a GoPro, I just don't have a mount for it. The mounts that I do have are used, and I don't know where they went. If I did use the mount, I'd probably use the mount back there, and then have something up here that shows me what's in my blind spot. So, when you get in the car, get in the car, you kind of just imagine that. So after a couple seconds after you buckle your seatbelt, with new Tesla, it'll show like please start or it'll say something like press brake and to shift into gear. And the lights just went off. That's why I have this shift. To shift gears, and you just hold on the brake, and it'll shift gears for you. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just use the gear shifter right here. So by the way, Teslas do not have stocks. It's fully all the turn signal stock is on the steering wheel now, and then the windshield wipers right there, and then cruise controls right there. Everything else is this are for the cameras. This is for autopilot. This is for your personal assistant like Siri inside the car, and this is to change the headlights. Alright, then you guys can tell which ones I do not use. Only ones I do use are the turn signals and cruise control right here and this, the autopilot. I don't use windshield wipers that much because I live in California. It doesn't rain that much, and when it does rain, I don't usually go outside unless if I absolutely have to, like if I have to go to school. Now the big question is, how do I drive technically? Like for example, like how do I go forward? Like how do I make the car move? Well, like I said earlier, is that I don't drive. So my mom and my dad drives, but that doesn't mean I don't try. For example, if we get out the car, and then we go right here. So this is a real car. The pedals would be down there. So sometimes I'll just pretend. So I'll just like push the pedal with my foot, and then I'll pretend like this side is the accelerator, and this side's the brake. And then Teslas don't have emergency braking or clutches, so there's nothing over here. So as I basically showed you guys, it's not the outside that counts, because there's a whole nother world as you get to the back. Huh, the lighting actually looks good, sorta, from outside. And like I said, there are some ups and some downs about this, but like I said, you guys have to use your imagination to block out those and find solutions to those. So I've talked a lot on how I drive and or what I use when I drive, but let's show you how I use them while we actually move. One important thing I forgot to mention was to unlock the car with my imagination. Tesla has in their app a place where you can actually download the app. So you just go into the app, go swipe over, and it says Experience Tesla. You just click Explore, and then click Get Started. And then you can just pretend like this is your car. Right, obviously this is not the car I actually want. I want a white Model 3 or like a blue Model 3, but hey, this is gonna have to work for now. This app, you can unlock the car in the app. You can turn the AC on, controls, open the trunk, and close it, unlock the car. You can start it, you can do a bunch of other stuff. You can also even see the cameras outside. See? Whoa. Oh, you can't even see it. Whoa. Before you ask who's Tesla I just hijacked, this is actually in the Tesla app, and this is technically Elon Musk's car, but not. Alright, so now we are driving, and this is where imagination takes full effect. So, I didn't get a chance to tell you this yet, but the car that I'm pretending to drive is a white Tesla Model 3, 2024. Anyway, let's get to the basics. You click this button to turn, you turn the wheel like this, and then if you're just going straight, you just keep the wheel pointed straight. And then when you take a turn like this, you just turn the wheel however far. But if you can't get the wheel to turn far enough, you can just copy what your parents do. Anyway, I forgot to mention I live in California, and I have California drivers. Anyway, okay, spoiler alert, not all California drivers are crazy, but there are some crazy ones. Anyway, you drive, and anything could happen when you're driving. Like, for example, traffic. I forgot to mention that my county that I live in is doing construction to the freeway, and the freeway has its own intermediate lane. So once you're in the lane, you cannot get out the lane. So this is gonna be fun. So getting on the freeway, we have traffic on the overpass or on the ramp. And then you have trucks that don't want to let you in. So you have to cut off a truck. So this is what it looks like when you cut off a truck. And then, like a normal Tesla, it'll pop up whenever you turn your turn signal on. It'll show you who's in your blind spots. So this is what it would look like if this was actually a Tesla. Phew. Finally merged safely. This is where my anxiety gets full effect. I have very bad driving anxiety because I have PTSD from this, so I'm very cautious. So sometimes I'll drive, sometimes I'll just be chauffeured. So the only thing that can save me is playing rock. Shout out to him. But yeah, I guess I was worrying for nothing because we got home safely. As of editing this video, I just realized I never came up with a proper ending to this video. So, I guess a proper way to end this video is let your imagination take you places in life and embrace them. And maybe you can do the same thing I'm doing. Hopefully when I release this video, it makes this amount of views. And so with that, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Why is it not going? No, 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 no,